Hello everyone and welcome back to my Star Citizen channel. 389,000 HP. That number is currently causing a massive firestorm in the Star Citizen community. With IAE 2955 kicking off this Thursday, all eyes are on the RSI Perseus. But everyone is asking the same question. Should I still buy this ship or should I melt it? There are videos circulating online that have already declared the ship dead on arrival. I will address those specific criticism at the end of this video, but the arguments are harsh. Paper thin armor, one-shot victim for the Idris, or completely useless. My goal with this video isn't to add to the panic. On the contrary, I want to help you make an informed decision based on technical facts, not fear. But before we dive deep, I need to issue a small disclaimer. The topic of armor and the damage model is probably the most complex rabbit hole in Star Citizen's history. The information is scattered across years of forum posts, old around the verse episodes and dev comments. So, if I miss a tiny detail from back in 2016, please don't roast me in the comments. To understand if the Perseus is truly a bad investment or perhaps the most misunderstood ship in the game, we need to look past simple spreadsheets and look at the actual tech. This is the reason why I made this video. Let's start at the beginning. To understand today's confusion, we have to know where we came from. When Star Citizen started, it was built almost entirely on the standard CryEngine. Great for shooters, but not really designed for massive spaceships. Back then, the system was simple. Every ship had hit points. It was basically a flying health bar. Then you had the old bubble shields, a simple energy X surrounding the ship. The logic was straightforward. Step 1, drop the shield. Step 2, damage the hull. Step 3, when the hull HP hits 0, boom, that's it. It didn't matter what material the ship was made of. There was no simulation of ballistics penetrating or bouncing off. Flying a Hornet felt technically the same as flying a Constellation. The Con just had more zeros in the health bar code. The biggest problem was the health pool. If you shot the left wing long enough, eventually the whole ship would explode. Why? Because damage was subtracted from a global total. That was pure arcade gameplay. For a game that wants to be the best space sim ever, that was a dead end. CIG knew this and they started rebuilding the system. Which brings us to the weird transition phase we are in today. Welcome to the present day. Let's look at where we stand right now. CIG has made huge improvements over the years. We got STF shields, which hug the hull like a skin. We got ballistics that can penetrate shields, meaning you aren't safe even with full shields. And we got soft death. Ships don't just explode instantly anymore. They get disabled and leave a wreck. This is immersive and cool. But, and this is the absolute critical point for the Perseus debate, under the hood, it's still just a calculator. Even though it looks complex, every part still has a fixed HP number. Armor in the game right now is just a simple multiplier. They call it damage mitigation. The math is basic. Weapon does 100 damage, ship has 15% resistance, so 50 damage goes through. There is no physics involved. The game doesn't calculate, is this projectile thick enough to punch through this plate? It just subtracts numbers. And that is exactly why the Perseus feels weak in the current patch. It was given an HP value that might seem okay for balancing, but it feels wrong in the game. Because a large weapon just rips huge chunks out of that HP pool. The ship cannot use its main feature, its thick armor, because the mechanic for it simply isn't active yet. Now we get to the Holy Grail. The thing that changes everything and the reason I'm calm about the Perseus is Maelstrom. Maelstrom is the name for the fully physical damage model. Forget HP bars. In the future, ships will be made of materials. Think of it like a modern tank simulation, like War Thunder. The Perseus won't just have 389,000 health. It will have an outer hull made of specific alloy, let's say 50 cm thick. Behind that structural beam, wiring and components. When a projectile hits the Perseus, real physics happen. First, penetration. Does the round have enough energy and hardness button is to punch through the armor. If not, it bounces, which means 0 damage. You can shoot it 1,000 times, it won't matter. Small fighters with laser repeaters will be useless against Perseus armor because they physically can't get in. Right now, they just slowly drain its HP. That era will be over. Second, angle. If the shot comes in at an angle, the effective thickness doubles, causing a ricochet. Third, internal damage. If the round does go through, it's not about hull damage, it's about what it hits inside. Did it punch the reactor? Did it kill the crew? This means you won't destroy a ship like the Perseus by draining its HP. You have to disable it by taking out critical systems. And since the Perseus is an armored gunship, those critical components will be buried deep behind multiple layers of armor. This is a total paradigm shift, moving away from who has more DPS to who has the right caliber and knows the weak spots. Now let's circle back to the current criticism. There is a video by Jam Reviews that perfectly captures the current negative vibe. He raises points that seems logical at first glance, but they ignore the development context. Let's address these points with our new knowledge of Maelstrom. Point 1. The Idris Railgun one-shots the Perseus. My counter argument: yes, the Idris is a frigate with a massive size 10 railgun. That weapon was built to crack capital ships. It should heavily damage a corvette, but in the Maelstrom system a single hit doesn't equal death. A railgun slug might punch clean through the Perseus, cold over penetration. It leaves a hole, but if it misses the reactor, the ship keeps fighting. The current HP system can't simulate that. It just says hit equals dead. That's not a flaw with the Perseus, it's a flaw with the old system. Point 2. The HP is too low compared to the Polaris. This is a classic apple to oranges comparison. First, stats on freshly released ship are rarely final. CIG is collecting data. Second, we have to look at mass and role. The Perseus is described as a brawler, built to take a beating. If you look at the ship's mass versus its volume, it implies extremely high material density. Once physics apply, the raw HP number becomes irrelevant. The Perseus relies on the quality of its armor, not the quantity of its health points. And point 3, a rich solo Idris pilot beats a crude Perseus. I mean, this point I strongly disagree here because this ignores engineering at all. In the future, a solo Idris pilot will be overwhelmed. You cannot fly, reload the railgun, manage shields and fight fires at all once. A fully crewed Perseus operates in a wolf pack. It's agile enough to dodge the main gun of an Idris and has enough firepower to punish the turrets. And in my opinion, the pay to win argument only works in the simplified alpha we have right now. Well, to summarize, the criticism of the Perseus is understandable if you only look at the here and now, but Star Citizen isn't being built for the here and now. Calling the Perseus trash today is like judging a house that's been built but hasn't been painted yet. With Maelstrom and engineering, this ship will fulfill exactly the role it was sold for. A heavy armored brawler that gives capital ships a headache. Don't let temporary numbers drive you crazy. But yeah, what do you think? Is the community being too impatient? Or should CIG bump up the numbers for now just to make it fun? Let me know it in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, please leave a like and a subscribe. Hopefully see you next time. Bye.